Montclair. Isaiah, I got you. So we lit. Uh, we have a very special guest. Sam Nungesser's here via Zoom. Sam, how you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Now, for those of you, you are the editor in chief at the Montclarian, our newspaper here at Montclair State. But I can't explain it. I can explain it. So, how about you? Can you explain it well?
Yeah, so the newspaper, it's all student run, so it's our student run newspaper. We've been, I guess, in business since 1929, so almost 100 years.
Wow.
So we have a big team, a lot of writers, we have a business team. And yeah, it's basically just, serving the public interests of Montclair State and reporting student news, local news, and anything that may interest students. So that's basically what it is.
So I know you just kind of mentioned this, but what else makes the Montclarian like set apart from other news outlets?
I think the biggest thing is that we're totally student run. We do have our advisor, Tara George, who's amazing, but all final decisions and everything is made by students. We're the ones who decide on the content, organize everything, send it out all the articles, publish all the articles, make the paper every week. But that's even business decisions, those are all totally ours too. And I think that's probably the biggest thing is that it's really just totally student run. It's separate from the school. We're not a class. This is all outside of class work that we just do because we love.
Now, I don't know what you would say is your proudest moment during your time during the Montclarians, but what would you say your top moment is?
I would probably say last semester, the vice president, Kamala Harris, came to campus. I'm sure everybody's heard. I was one of 3 people who got to go and cover that, and I got to cover that for the Montclarian. So that was probably the coolest thing and probably the proudest thing that I've done so far for us.
Now, what year are you?
I'm a senior.
So you've seen a lot during your 4 years here.
Yeah.
So, it kind of begs the question: what got you into journalism?
I guess I was just always interested in writing, and I was always kind of nosy and into finding things out and kind of hearing the latest tea. So what better way to put that to use than doing this? My freshman year, I came in, I was undecided, but I knew that I wanted to go into it. So it was good because I kind of got a lot of my gen eds out of the way. And then sophomore year, I declared, and I guess it all went down from there, up from there, uphill from there.
All smooth sailing for all smooth sailing.
Yes.
So it's good to see that. And who are some of the journalists you looked up to?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Okay, so I'm really into entertainment journalism. I know this is going to make me like maybe lose points with some people, but I really like, Maria Menounos. I was into Juliana Rancic. I liked Marhula, like everything that they do with e-news and all that kind of stuff. That was always what I looked into, and what I've always been into. So if I could do something like what they do, that would be amazing.
Nice. Now, early in the show, we did talk about a story where sports journalism seemed to value being first the story more than having like a factual story. This also seems to be a trend occupying in all levels of media, and I was just wondering if you wanted to throw in any thoughts on that.
I'm sorry, can you repeat it? That sports journalism is more.
No, it's earlier today. We talked about how sports journalists seem to value being first to the story more than having the actual facts of the story, and this is also like trend occurring in other forms of media. I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on that.
I think, I mean, I can really only speak to us. I know that we have a really big process that goes into our editing and everything, and it's a big fact checking process. So as far as our sports stories go, if it's a game or a game recap, I know those are fact checked and everything. We have students there. They're not really out immediately. It goes through our whole process of, our desk editor, our copy, our managing, and then me. So I don't know. I mean, I don't really know much about sports journalism because I don't really know much about sports. I can only really talk about us. But we usually try in general, when we try to get things out fast, we are as, we try to be as factually correct as possible. Um, and it goes through our whole process regardless. We don't really skip over anything. So I don't know if we've really had that problem necessarily. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Did that answer the question?
Yeah. And you were mentioning how like it goes through a bunch of people. Do you think you could elaborate a little bit further on like what is like the timeline of writing a story and like where do you start?
So it's different with all kinds of things. Usually like for entertainment, our reviews and stuff like that, it's not as timely. So, you can take a little bit more time with that. But with more of the timely news stories, like sports stories, stuff like that, we usually give it a couple of days. It really depends. I mean, last week we had that protest was on campus and John LaRosa, our photo editor, was there taking photos. I mean, that happened Tuesday afternoon and we had that out by Tuesday night. Um, so it really depends on the story. Basically, we kind of leave enough time so that the writer can write it, obviously, send it to the desk editor, which is either our news, sports, entertainment, opinion, or feature editors. Then it would go to the copy desk. So then it gets that first or that second review, I guess. Then it goes to our managing editor, then it goes to me, and then I approve it. So however long that takes, sometimes I'll text everybody and be like, be on the lookout. There's something coming. We want to get it out now. But pretty much every day, we do have deadlines. We do have a set amount of articles that we want to put out every single day. So I think everybody's usually aware. I kind of let everybody know the Thursday before we start publishing a lot, starting usually Saturday, Sunday for the week. So usually there's a few days notice.
And something that you just mentioned that about the protests that were going on last Tuesday, and you said you do tabs Tuesday afternoon, and you got it out Tuesday night. Now, I honestly got to say that's really a matter and a testament to what you guys do social media wise. So, how do you think that what the Montclarian does has capitalized on social media?
Actually, this year, that's kind of been my whole thing is the whole social media thing. This is actually the first year we've been able to monetize off of it. We've been selling ads to our social media,
Wow.
which has been really awesome. But I think it's just keep like continuing to post. I brought on a graphic design intern this semester, so that's where all those cool little quote cards with the writing on it and everything where they come from, and she's great. Um, so I think it's just kind of finding new innovative ways to present your information on social media so that people look at it for what 1 second before they continue. So just anything that can catch their eye. That's kind of what we're aiming to do right now. And it's working. So
I was wondering if you wanted to like what are your favorite kinds of like news articles to write about?
I love breaking news. I think it's so much fun. It's like I was talking to Jenna, and Jenna's our news editor, and Megan's our entertainment editor. And I was talking to them one day about how it's like an adrenaline rush because you're like the first, maybe not the first person to break. Obviously, people know, but like the one of the first people to get it out there. So it's just like writing it and like getting it. Like it's happened a few times this semester with the Kamala Harris when we did that quick. The first day of school when we had that hurricane and everything flooded. We got that out that night. So I think that's probably the most fun, just because you feel proud that you like did that first, or you're one of the first people to like report it and show students. So I like those.
You just mentioned breaking news stories. On Saturday, ESPN analyst Adam Schefter, he reported that Tom Brady was retiring, and it come to find out that it's not true. So how do you feel about you trying to make sure that you take an emphasis on making sure that your facts are correct before you send it out?
Oh, we definitely want to do that. Usually the breaking news stories we've had have been things that we see, and we have, our reporters are amazing and they're talking to them directly. It's not really a lot of hearsay, which I think the whole Tom Brady thing was. Um, but yeah, I think that that's kind of what we're working towards. We have a lot of people looking at this, with the storm thing. We were talking to people who were on campus who were sending us pictures. We also talked to Andrew Meese, who's the spokesperson for the university. We don't normally put anything out without him saying something, especially on a big issue, or having that other side so that we have, both things. But yeah, I guess that's the biggest thing is just making sure you cover all your angles, all your traces, and then sending it out. And like annoying people if you have to, like if nobody answers, just keep emailing them or calling them or whatever.
Yeah. And I know you said that you're a senior right now, but where do you want like to end up after you graduate?
Oh God. Anywhere that'll hire me. No, I want to. I think ideally, I'd really want to be in entertainment. I think that's where my interest has always kind of lied. But at the same time, those breaking news stories, I love them. It's so much fun. So I guess I don't know. It's hard. People ask me this all the time, and I really don't know because I love everything about it. So I think I'm just going to apply to a million different things, and hopefully one of them take me.
And that's why sometimes that's a bit. You just got to make sure that you are able to fill every egg, and that's
Mhm.
that's what you should do. But what is for we got some young students, me myself included. I'm trying to become a journalist. So what are some tips you can give students for their to try to become journalists?
Um, I would say I think the biggest thing is just being available and being open to all different things because you're not always going to be reporting on things you like or things that you want to do. Um, and you may think that you're not like at first when I started like doing news, which I just kind of started doing news pieces now, but in the beginning, because a lot of the coursework is news based, I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to deal with this? And I ended up liking it. Like, kind of like what you said, like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure that you can kind of do a little bit of everything. And not just with writing, with like video, with photo, like, try to be, try to wear as many hats as you can because it'll make it easier for you. Um, but yeah, and just be available so that, you can go and you can do this stuff and you can come back and you can make something great.
Right. And before you go, how can we get involved at the Montclarian?
Ooh, so every Wednesday we have general body meetings in the news lab at 2 p.m. Every week, a different editor gives a little workshop, so you can learn a little bit about that, and you get to mingle with everybody and meet everybody. And then from there, we get you set up on Camiac, which is where we pitch and submit articles. It's like this website. And yeah, and you can just kind of go from there. Anybody's welcome to write. Anybody's welcome to join. But yeah.
Sam, thank you for your time. It's really been awesome to hear a Montclair point of view. Definitely want to, we'll get connected with the Montclarian. If interested, of course, you can go to the meetings on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. I'll see you. I'll see you on Wednesday because I do want to get involved.
Yeah.
So I'll see you then.
Amazing. See you then.
Thank you once again, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
We'll be right back here on the Morning Buzz. This is Love is Heartbreak by Cousin Tony's Brand New Firebird.